What's going on, guys? My name is Bleaves. Welcome to the show. We're talking about Bitcoin, and guess what? We are watching right now a significant sort of breakout that has been happening over the last couple of hours. Now, um, it started to consolidate. Then we're seeing a breakout for the last 2 hours from 31,400 to 31,700. That is only a 1% increase, but this is significant in that we are starting to see a nice run. And the American markets are just about to open right now. So when we look at this, we can see here that there's at least some positive sort of pressure that's coming. Now, as you can see, the candle is winding its way down, but it's still getting pushed up by bull pressure. So we're looking at a very good and very bullish sort of sign right now. Let's hope that this continues to move, because what we're talking about right now, crypto funds in the last week have saw inflows of $87 million. And when you look at this overall, the outflow last week was $141 million. And the total year-to-date inflow of all crypto-backed funds is $520 million. That means that the exchange-traded funds are starting to see an influx in money coming in, and that's a positive and a very bullish sign for the market. So possibility certainly exists that very soon we're going to start to see some real uptick in the value of everything. But let's face it, it starts with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, if it outperforms everything else in the market, that is the best thing for the market overall, because Bitcoin is what moves everything. Bitcoin is showing signs of life following 9 consecutive weeks of losses. And let's not forget, 9 consecutive weeks of losses is a lot. The bulk of Bitcoin's relief bounce was seen on Sunday when the cryptocurrency rose above 30,000. Now we're looking at pushing to about 32,500, major point of resistance that we're dealing with right now. Hopefully today we can start smashing through those boundaries and see some positive action. But the purpose today, what we want to talk about is, can Bitcoin hit $100,000? And I'm going to say this, it absolutely can. We're talking about an article that was published yesterday by Megan DiMatteo for Next Advisor. And here's what it says. It says it's been a rocky start for the year of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's price rose above 30,000 over the weekend. The leading crypto was trading near 31.5 Tuesday morning. As we see right now, we're getting a little bit of a push. Tammy DaCosta says, if price pressure remains on the rise, a break below 26,000 and 1,700 ETH could lead to a resumption of the bearish move. So we're looking out for these sentiments to the downside. We want to keep above 28.5. I think is the number that we really are going to be most comfortable with, just in case. But 26,000 is going to be a real tightening on Bitcoin, and 1,700 for Ethereum has no support level. So it's going to cascade down from there. But investors are wrestling with concerns over rising inflation, geopolitical tensions, and the possibility of tighter monetary policy by the U.S. Federal Reserve. Now, I'm not sure where you land on this, but let's face facts. There is a strong possibility that even if the U.S. government was not directly involved in the Terra Luna fiasco, that they certainly smiled and winked, because they're looking for regulation in this industry. They're trying to find new ways to get into this industry and start to regulate. So what you are witnessing and what you are seeing is something to the effect that they want to be involved. And as soon as you saw Terra Luna, you started hearing about new legislation that was going through the pipeline, almost as if it was prepared and ready. Now, Bitcoin's only been above 45,000 for a few short stretches over the past 4 months, and hasn't been above 50,000 since December 25, 2021. Still, Bitcoin has stayed above its 6-month low, below 34,000 in late January. Amid the ups and downs, Bitcoin's current price is a long way off from the all-time high of 68,000. Despite the volatility in recent slumping price, many experts still say Bitcoin is on its way to passing the $100,000 mark. Now, if you follow me for a couple days ago, then you know that Tim Draper did say that he expects Bitcoin to go to $250,000 by the end of this year. Now, I did not really agree after going through this whole thing and looking, maybe 100,000, maybe 100,000 is a much better sort of a more viable option to get there, because it takes a large inflow of cash, and we don't have that right now. the entire basis behind his assumption of 250,000 was mass adoption by women using Bitcoin for shopping. In order for that to happen, we're going to need regulation. We're going to need government involvement, because they will not sit idly by while we buy everything with Bitcoin. It just doesn't work that way. It's the US government. It's the world governments. They're not going to sit idly by and watch their tax dollars flow out the window as we decentralize how we do business. It's not going to happen. So we'll pant that down just a little bit, and we'll say a recent study by Deutsche Bank found that about a quarter of Bitcoin investors believe Bitcoin prices will be over $110,000 in 5 years. Guys, it'll be over $100,000 by the end of this year. Volatility is nothing new, but here's the thing. I'm going to end this right here, and I'm going to say this. Ukraine and Russia right now are in a conflict, and it doesn't matter if Russia wins, and it doesn't matter if Ukraine wins. This is not about who wins. This is about destroying the markets right now. When these markets are able to get right, and that is to say, when there is no longer a conflict, a major global conflict happening right under our noses involving Europe and Russia, then what we're going to see is a rocket ship launching Bitcoin to prices that we've not seen before. People want it. The money exists for it to happen. That doesn't mean that we're going to sit at 100,000. When we say 100,000, remember, what we're talking about is it's going to run to 100,000. Then it's probably going to settle around the 50 to 40,000 range, and we're going to have new investors that are involved. That's how it works. It's always been that way. So let's have a little patience. Watch Bitcoin run to 100,000 by the end of this year. We'll see this Ukraine conflict, this Russian conflict. It'll disappear. When that does, then guess what? Inflation starts to go down. Investor sentiment goes way up, and we'll be on our way to the moon. Guys, this is not financial advice. My name's Bleaves, and I'll see you at $100,000 Bitcoin.
I'm looking for the good life, good